Well, we sure missed the best of the best. My best friend, one time we went hiking. I was just about to buy my house. My wife, dear wife Diane, and I think it was Worthington State Park. That's up there, the Appalachians. We had a great time, great day. And we're out in the wilderness, and we came across these old structures. Well, they were frames, which must have been from early settlers. So Glenn turned to me and said, "Hey, you can get this one real cheap. I think it's for you." It just cracked me up.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was the best. Always a sense of humor.
Always great dry sense of humor.
And of course, the classic story in your recording studio, when he felt my left hand was louder than my right hand, and too nervous, he came over as I was playing and taped my wrist to my leg. Duct tape. Oh, crack. Oh, I miss him, man. We all do.
Yeah, we're all going to miss him.
Yes.
Story I want to tell. I know Glenn as long as I know Ronnie, which is over 46 years. And I always loved to go to his first house when he was with Joanne. And I'd like to mention Joanne too. I deeply miss her as well. And I'm so glad that he found Bonnie. And it helped him move through life. And I miss him dearly. He was a dear friend, and I also enjoyed singing with him as well. Even though I'm married to a drummer, I have to say he's my other drummer that I like to sing with. And I will miss him forever.
Hi, my name is Peter Stricker. I studied with Glenn for about a year before he went away on a tour with pianist Bernard Pfeiffer. And Glenn sent me to this guy who was just the opposite of Glenn, Charlie Tappan. And I've known Glenn for years, and every chance I could, I'd come out to hear him. But he worked with my dad for a long time.
Great, thank you.
My stories are all, I basically can't remember anything that happened, like as long as I knew Glenn, which was like 50 years. He was one of the first guys that I met when I moved out here in 1970. And I started hanging at the Deer Head, and Glenn would come and play with Johnny Coates. And when he wasn't here, do you remember the bass player, DeWitt Kay, used to come and play with Glenn and Johnny. They did one record together. And, we just kind of fell in and then became friends with Roy and Glenn, Harry, Leahy, and Mike Lillo. And that all, kind of coincided with kind of the workout, the run up to the Phil Woods group. We used to play free jazz at Mike's farmhouse in Alamucci. Oh, I got some tapes that are just like ridiculous. I'm crazy, And Glenn, I'm sure, was just looking at me like, what happened to you today? Such a great guy. We always had and he was, all those guys were like so nice and welcoming to me, as a newcomer to the scene. So very, very. I loved his playing and I loved him as a person. Great guy.
Great guy. Thank you.
I don't have any really funny stories. That's too high to remember.
Well, she knows this. This is one of my favorite stories. We had a patron, Betty Bowman, who was like the Baroness. She had a studio across the street from here. We used to play there. That's how we started. And she would sit there and paint, and drink her gin and tonics and smoke. And we would just jam. We were all on the road at the time, and we'd play. And she goes, "You guys should record." We go, "Nah, we don't want to do that." Glenn was like, "Nah, we don't want to do that. That'll ruin it." So anyway, this went on for years. She gave me a key to the place. I lived here in town. So she had all this artwork in the studio. So she would stock the kitchen with booze. As long as we stopped playing by 11 o'clock, because there was tenants upstairs, and we'd just hang. Bill and Glenn and I telling stories. So we're all walking out with our stuff. It's probably midnight. She had like a sculpture on the counter. So we go by. I might have hit it. Glenn might have hit it. Crash. We're like, oh man, what are we gonna do? So we turn the lights back on, take the sculpture back to the kitchen, and try to glue it back together, and have another drink or two. Finally, we decide, this shit ain't happening. We're just gonna have to tell her. And then so I talked to Glenn the next day. Well, Bonnie says you break it, you buy it. We're like, oh man. So we tell Betty, she's cool that I don't think it was as valuable as we thought. That's the famous broken statue story.
Bonnie, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I remember the first time I nervously called Glenn for a gig. It was shortly after Harry passed away. And Harry said to me, yeah, call Glenn, I told you about it, man, you know, and he'll be cool and he'll like playing with you. It probably wasn't shortly after, it was probably quite a long time after. And I remember calling Glenn up and I was real nervous. And he said to me, yeah, what took you so freaking long? So
Great.
that was Glenn, man. I mean,
That's Glenn.
he just kept getting kinder as the years went on.
Yes.
So I moved back. I was in Boston. I moved back to New York City, and I used to go and see my folks. Before I got my apartment, and I'd moved back from Boston, I was trying to get an apartment in New York. He had a place, a little railroad, was called the Switchman Shack. It was in Newmarket, New Jersey. It was about 10 feet from the railroad tracks. And the trains were still running. They were mostly freight trains going through, I don't know, 80 miles an hour. This Switchman Shack would just literally begin to shake. It was just an old wooden shack. It was abandoned. Somehow Glenn spoke to someone in the local government and rented this place for $25 a month. And this would have been 65, 66. It became the hangout for all the local guys, players, in our area, in Plainfield, Somerville, wherever we were playing on weekends, and we would all go to this Switchman Shack on the weekend and hang out all night. So anyway, at one point, Glenn, I shouldn't say this, but Michelle might find out, but I don't care. So anyway, so Glenn went away, had a gig up in the Adirondack Mountains, and gave me the key to the place, to the Switchman Shack. And we still had the same thing, all the local guys come there after the gig, hang out, drink a little bit, do a little bit, listen to some music, whatever, joke around. So anyway, one particular night, and there never was a problem. Never, no police never came, nothing ever happened. Had the strobe lights going, and Glenn had fixed it up real nice. There was some, real nice furniture. Anyway, so now Glenn's away. He told me to take over the place for the summer, which I did. And I brought a couple of girlfriends of mine over one night. And so we were in the Switchman Shack, hanging out, so to speak. And the first time ever, a cop knocks on the door. I open the door, and to my surprise, is a cop. Oh, and I gotta describe, there was a living room, there was an entrance to the building, the house, and there was a big mural separating the living room from the entrance. It was something that Glenn had painted in his Jackson Pollock stage. It was all this blue and white paint splattered onto a canvas. Oh, I would say 6 feet long, about 4 feet high. And he had it framed, and that was the divider of the room. Anyway, so these cops show up. I'm there with my 2 lady friends, and they want to come inside, which I didn't particularly want them to, but they were being kind of forceful about it, and I said, okay. So they came inside, there were 2 of them now, and they're looking at the Jackson Pollock kind of painting. And they said, what the hell is that? I said, well, it's my friend's painting, and he called it a self-portrait. So that's what I told these 2 cops. I said, it's a self-portrait. Oh, he said, who's your friend? And I said, his name is Glenn Davis. The one cop goes back outside, takes a piece of mail from the mailbox, and he said, what's your friend's name again? I said, Glenn Davis. He said, you're not even close, buddy. Phil Axton.
There you go.
That was one of Glenn's pseudonames.
Pseudonym.
Phil Axton.
I didn't know that.
Hey Bonnie, Phil, thanks for everything. Glenn was the greatest. We played every week and had the best time. Had laughs like you wouldn't believe. Jerry's asking me to tell you a funny story, but there are too many of them for me to think of right now. But hope to see you. Hope you're sticking around and love you. And thanks for everything.
Thanks, Phil.